Hey, you there. Just wanted to let you know you are now listening to the AK Mindset Podcast. Yo, welcome back, guys, to the AKWatch Jujutsu Kaisen with the Mandem. I know it's been a minute. We've lacked a bit of consistency in the last couple of weeks, but like we say every time this happens, that is life and it's part of the journey. It doesn't take away from our enjoyment of the show. So with me today is the lads. Talk to them. How's it going?
Yo, we back again for prime Jujutsu Kaisen. And yeah, man, it's a little catch up and it's going to be exciting to talk about it. Our boy he's been going through it. So yeah, let's talk about it.
Yes, sir. We're back for a marathon. 3 episodes, 1 discussion. But yeah, we're here to discuss the madness that has occurred over these episodes. 2 packs. My lungs they're full of smoke, bruv.
Smoking heavily. You think we're chain smokers, but it is what it is. Formalities, like on screen, you can follow us on Instagram at the AK_mindset and on Twitter or X at the AK Mindset. And let's just jump into the 3-episode carousel, like Dan mentioned. We did mention last week or the week before, whenever we recorded, that we were recovering from the deaths. We thought time would help us following the episodes, but it seemed that JJK decided to double down on our suffering, and universally we're all going through it. So starting the conversation off with episode 18, the GOAT, one of the lads' favourite characters, Nanami, his last moments, as he kind of walked stoically, reflecting in the stadium, doomed, hurt, in pain, but still, fighting a good fight. What did you guys think of Nanami's kind of last moments, his portrayal? Do you think the fans can be happy with what he brought as a character overall and in his last moment?
You want to go first, or shall I? Or maybe I should go first so you can have the stage. I know it's going to be a tough one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think this death was done pretty well. I think they set it up. With I love the way how they transitioned with the scenes when he's on the beach in Malaysia, to the cool reality of his situation for fighting all those transfigured humans. And it was just a slow build up to what was his death, when Mahito comes and touches him and he starts seeing Haibara. But I think they built up to it well. You could tell he was kind of on his last legs and it was going to be tough for him to survive after the Jogo encounter. And, you kind of really felt the emotion, with the OST as well, the importance of having that good soundtrack and, just the desperation, he's just trying to make sure everyone's safe. He's thinking about Maki, hoping, and Megami as well. And then, the calmness and realization when he's like, okay, yep, my time's up, but let me not leave without reassuring Yuji and motivating him. And I think he went out being what we all knew him as a great mentor figure, a great role model. And he will be missed. He will be missed.
Yeah, man. Nanami, as you might have guessed or listened to us before, he is my favorite character from Jujutsu Kaisen. And the anime, I think, did him justice, man. I think, like Daniel said, the kind of switching from him walking and him in the beach, enjoying. Because, he always wanted to go to Malaysia and enjoy good hollybubs, but he's a Jujutsu sorcerer and didn't get that kind of luck. But it was beautiful, the OST, everything. Him just smiling in the beach. I think that's why I want to remember him as, because the injuries were nasty, but and in the very end as well, he left with something to push Nanami Yuji forward, because obviously he doesn't want to curse Yuji. So, and and him just thinking back to who's lost as well before, and yeah, it was just beautiful. And I think he just knew his time was up. It was kind of, and he was fighting that fight as well in the end. Trying his best as it can to like reduce the kind of what everyone else has to go through with killing the cursed people in the area. But Mahito, he just had to have the last laugh, I guess. And and they've had a bit of history together. Like three times. So yeah, it was kind of almost meant to be that he was going to want to take him out. But yeah, man, Nanami, great character, great mentor, and yeah, I'm so happy with the kind of send off he got, and I'm sure that every anime fan is happy with what he's done in the series. Yeah, man, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I have to double down on what both of you said. Definitely how tranquil or like peaceful his leading to his death was very different from what we've experienced in JJK, and it seemed like the closer he got to his death, the more at peace he was, and his death didn't seem like a struggle or fight, even though he was continuing to kind of press on and fight and passed on hope to Yuji. There was still like a balance where he wasn't fighting for his own life. His everything has always been like, it's greater and bigger than me, you know what I mean? And even in his last moments, when he's thinking in his head about what I wish I could have done, what I wish I could experience, he's also understanding the responsibility of being a Jujutsu sorcerer, and that part of that is to give that up, kind of push on for something greater. And I just thought that was special, and coupled with the soundtrack, OST, and everything, it kind of intensified that kind of moment and made it really beautiful. One of the most beautiful deaths, for sure. Moving on to Yuji, obviously enraged. He's seen a mentor, a friend, somebody that's inspired him, just dying in front of him is shocking. I want to know if you guys were surprised how quickly he was able to kind of regain some sort of composure, and the fact that he's basically going toe to toe with Mahito. Like, does that surprise you?
Well, I think right now in this episode, Yuji is just going off rage because Mahito he's a troll, man. Like, I can't lie. After he killed Nanami, and then you have Yuji, he just loses it and he starts screaming, and he's just like, "Oh, what the hell are you, Mahito?" And then he just he's screaming, and then Mahito's just like, "Why are you shouting?" I can't lie, I was just laughing because I was like, that's so toxic, man. Why would you say that to him? You know why he's shouting? He's like, "I can hear you." I'm like, bro, this guy he's just a villain. That's just evilness, bro. I mean, I can't lie. Mahito, I was liking the energy he brought to the encounter. But Yuji, yeah, man, that guy was hooping. I can't lie to you, man. He was showing that martial arts prowess, because some of the things he was doing, man, especially with the grief and the stress burden he already has, very impressive, man. He only has hand and fist, but he uses them more.
Sir. Yeah, so he was hooping. That's so true. He was going crazy. There's like, obviously he was enraged, but at the same time, like, everything's been going through, like, because this is not too like long before, like, he was basically going through what the other sinister individual did to him, and he's getting like the death of Nanami already on top of that. So he should be really like psychologically and physically done, but he just kept going, which is surprising. But Mahito he's a troll. He's the biggest troll, and he just enjoys pain. Because do you know how pissed off I'll be if after you've killed my mentor, you're telling me, "Why are you shouting? I can hear you." I'd be vexed.
It's vile.
It's like, I can hear you, bro. Don't shout. You're literally in the same room as me. But yeah, Mahito, he just seems like he's having fun, Paul. My goodness. In the tight spaces and the maneuvers he was doing, Yuji was just whooping his ass. It was crazy. And yeah, it was a bit surprising because, Yuji really shouldn't scale to Mahito, but somehow he's doing it. And yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah, I have to add on to the Mahito. It's definitely not slander, because like Dan said, he brought so much, and over the next couple episodes he brings so much. It made these couple episodes very entertaining, because Mahito has a real grasp of reality and what's happening and stuff like that. And I feel like he's one of those characters that will bring out or develop characters such as Yuji. Like you facing him will not only like take away the ignorance of like the reality you're viewing, but also definitely just make you stronger. And like the fight, Yuji, I was definitely impressed how quickly he was able to, get some like control. It wasn't like rage. It was rage, but it was also very like controlled. It wasn't just loose and not being logical, not thinking. You could tell that he was still processing stuff well and stuff like that. It wasn't just blind fist, which was very impressive. So like, I hope he continues to keep this up, and Mahito, I hope he continues to do his thing as an elite villain. I think that I definitely want to comment on the fact that, I feel that Jujutsu sorcerers, and especially like Yuji in this fight, lose their advantage because of cheap tricks like Mahito, like transfiguring random human beings in close vicinity to them. So for me, it kind of brings up the question. I think I've kind of mentioned this in passing a couple of times. Does protecting human beings in these kind of critical situation, because it came up for the Gojo fight, but more and more you can see that characters such as Mahito will use this to their advantage, and maybe for the greater good, you kind of have to not care somewhat of the human beings in the close vicinity, because they're just, a liability in essence. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah. I mean, Mahito was doing that especially because he knows Yuji and he knows that's gonna affect him mentally. So he's even doing it, I would say, excessively, because he's trying to stress Yuji the most. So I guess that's putting some tactics into display. But yeah, it definitely puts the sorcerers at a disadvantage, because I mean, you see with Yuji, he sees the two humans and he's like, oh, you guys need to get out of here, and he doesn't realize like, oh, Mahito is just using one of them as a bodysuit, and then I don't know, what did he do to the other one? He turned him into a sword or something. Yeah. But yeah, it's just big violation. He's just using those humans like they're toys. Like it's crazy. All the weapons he's throwing out, those are just humans that have been transformed and monsterized. And to be honest, I think Yuji has to not ignore, but he kind of has to suppress that altruistic side, because if he wants to beat Mahito, he just has to accept that there are gonna be sacrifices, because he doesn't care about anything.
I mean, that's a weak point that's getting exploited time and time. Almost every time they meet is brought up, because Mahito is just a generational curse, bro. That guy is special. He is a pure villain and doesn't care. Does crazy stuff with a smile on his face. So it's the kind of thing that Yuji just needs to... It's wild to say, but he needs to get over it if he actually wants to like put an end to what Mahito is, because turning a human being into a sword is ridiculous, but it's exactly what Mahito does. And yeah, but like Dan said, he knows like this is like how to play at the heartstrings of Yuji, and basically because Yuji is crazy and he has the hands and feet, to be fair, but to make him, the reactions a bit slower, to second guess himself, just human beings there, and you basically come on the run. So obviously he's going to use that to his advantage.
Yeah, because in my eyes, I was always thinking that Yuji, you're not strong enough yet, where you're not strong enough to protect those people yet. So to protect other people and the bigger picture, you kind of have to suppress that and kind of ignore them for this moment in time. I do want to also say that when Mahito is like transforming their human beings into weapons and stuff, I'm not gonna lie, it's cold. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, it's despicable and disgusting, but like when he's on a run and just swipe one and then turn to a sword, and in the same movement he like throw the sword or something, like it's one of the coldest things I've seen. So obviously towards the end of this episode, Mahito double is meeting up with Nobara. He is instantly thinking, I'm a vile guy, I'm an evil guy, let me use this to my advantage, let me put Yuji in more despair by killing her, or do you know putting her in a position where he's going to be stressed out, which kind of moves us on to episode 19 with Nobara, like I said, meeting Mahito's double, but it didn't go as he expected. What do you guys think about Nobara's being able to kind of keep up in the fight, and also kind of deduced she was fighting a clone, and also the fact that resonance is a perfect encounter for Mahito's ability, even though it's very convenient. That's the only thing I'll have on that. Like, it's very convenient that Nobara's ability kind of works against Mahito. So what do you man think about that?
Well, first off, I don't think it's convenient, because we know she has powers that affect the soul, and Mahito's whole thing is manipulating the soul. That's the only way you can damage him. So I don't know. I don't really think it's convenient. I just think she's a good counter. But all those things would have been good if what happened later on didn't happen. I mean, you've established her as a counter to Mahito, and you've kind of seen that she can be effective, but I mean, none of that really matters, because she lands like one attack, and that's really the fight. Really, it's to be honest, I'm not really a fan of the whole encounter. I think the episode is still fine, but the whole thing with Nobara, like it was cool, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, because she didn't really do anything. I mean, she hit him once, and he was like, okay, that's effective, but it didn't really lead anywhere. So
she did weaken him a bit though.
Nah, it was one attack, man.
Fraction, yeah.
For me, it's not even that. Okay, yeah, it was an effective hit. Yes, it's true, but like, she didn't get to actually have a fight with him, because she landed the hit and then he ran away, and then she followed him, and then she got clapped. So like, I'm like, that's it kind of just fits the tone of the arc. She's been getting disrespected the whole time, and I think I just think it was poor decision making on the author's part, but that's just my personal feeling.
Well, would you prefer that the fight kind of lasted longer and it was just a one-on-one, and then that kind of comes to some sort of conclusion, and then we move on?
I would have preferred her to actually fight him, like actually for them to exchange blows, build it up a bit, have her struggle, have him struggle, and then if you want to kill him, fair enough. But like, they didn't really have a extended battle, and then it just felt like what he did was just to shock the viewers, and to be honest, I don't think the death was needed, but it is what it is. You can't complain. It's happened, so it's still cheeks. I'm gonna stand on that. It's still cheeks.
It's crazy that they've had an extended battle for everybody else, but when it comes to Nobara, they said, nah, we're good. What do you think, Ed?
I mean, I think I agree to Dale to some extent, because I don't know, especially for like a series that was praised for good female writing, it's like on the same level as the male writing. I don't know, Shibuya was just like, Nobara especially, I just felt like she just needed more shine. Almost everybody. Mekamaru got shine. And we don't like that character. So why does Nobara not get the same kind of shine? I was just confused when I read it. Same feeling again when because I was thinking, even though we get something like an amazing pairing in the next episode, it would have been an amazing fight if literally Yuji and Nobara fought together against Mahito. You could use the fact that she's like basically the perfect counter for him, and Yuji using hands, and that would have been a beautiful fight. We saw like them pairing up before, like last season, and how like beautiful that was. So just do it again with Mahito. It's like, it's good. There's a joke about like, oh, Jujutsu Kaisen's like basically jump like Kaisen, you know. But I felt like there was so many more ways whether you do it like just her and him, and she actually weakens him, and it's just not one strike, or you know, tag team and actually get into work. And yeah, like if you want to take out still, at least make it the whole episode. It's like she hit him once. Oh, that's useful. Off she goes. Like what? So I love Nobara, but I just end up feeling sorry for her because, like, you know what? I just don't think she was utilized as well as she could have been, and especially if Mekamaru got that amount of shine for like a whole episode or two, which is still wild to me, and she didn't. But yeah, it's a shame, really. But unfortunately, she's either dead or needs a very big eye patch. But yeah.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel very kind of. She definitely can feel slighted. Actually, more than slighted, for the way she's been, you know, treated as a character and stuff like that. She definitely deserved. If everybody's getting a moment, you might as well throw her a moment as well. And it was definitely a good opportunity. I do hate that Mahito kind of stole that. I'm going to blame him. He stole that from us by running away. It wasn't the author's fault. He decided on his own accords, autonomous being as a character, to run away, because that's the way I'm going to go with it. But yeah, let's move on then to her death. Obviously, the clones meet, but don't fuse like Yuji thought they were going to, and everybody probably presumed in that moment. But kind of trade places, and like Yuji kind of knows like, huh, what's happening? Then he sees Nobara at the other end. He's like, oh my days, not another one. And yeah, Nobara got that slight hand on the cheek, on the face, and rolling the anime flashback. What did you mind think about the flashback? Did it? Because you know these type of flashbacks are just, you know, to build emotion, make us like have some sort of feeling and attachment to the character, especially when you see a flashback where they're young and stuff like that. Did it have that effect? Did it get you kind of invested in the death? Because it's crazy to go from such a good or great death with Nanami and then come to one that is not as great in my eyes. So what do you guys think of the whole flashback and her death?
Well, to be honest, I was actually just I was bored, man. I literally didn't care. I was like, bro, you've killed her. Why are you showing me this, bro? This is information you should have showed me before. You can't just cram all the information about the character before the death, and you know, because this is something that Demon Slayer does a lot. You know, it's the textbook. You know, they die and then we get the flashback. I mean, it kind of sometimes works in that series. Overall, I don't think it's a good way to flesh out characters after they die, and you should give them the development during the series when they're alive by giving them actual moments. And this kind of goes into how underutilized Nobara is. But if we're talking about the flashback itself, I think it's cool. It works. You know, you get to see that she always was this confident individual. You know, she believes in herself. She doesn't care, doesn't mind going against the grain. And then I liked seeing her relationship with Fumi and Sayori. And I think it was cool how they referenced what she was saying to Yuji about the shares of people in her life, and how she said, "Oh, these guys, even though I didn't have a chair for them, they came and pulled up their own chairs themselves to become people that I care about." So, yeah.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't say I was bored. I think I was just more annoyed, like, what's the point of this kind of thing? But once I got past the annoyance and anger, I think I just enjoyed it. I think you just showed why I like Nobara as a character in general. Kind of like character type she is. She's confident. She believes in herself. She knows what she wants, determined, and is not easily swayed. So I really like that character, but it's just like, it annoyed me even more because, like, oh, this was just wasted. And also like the kind of thing, like Daniel said, of like just cramming it at the end when she's already gone. Like, if we knew about this in season 1, a bit in like, what, maybe put this, I don't know, but the Demon Slayer kind of thing, or sometimes Naruto does it as well. It's like, you know what? Let me talk to you, and this is what happened when I was a kid. But I don't know. It was a odd feeling. Like you said, it was a great death from Nanami. Then Nobara, I'm just like, well, if you used them more, this would probably hit a lot more, wouldn't it? But because she was underutilized, like, because I even saw like on Twitter and TikTok, it was like, I didn't care. It was a wasted episode. So it's like, oh, it was such a good character, in my opinion, anyway, when it comes to her character writing. Not her character writing, but kind of character she is. I think she deserved better writing to go along with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because it's kind of like, let's cram everything all at once to make people feel something, because we haven't actually invested the due time and taken the care that character needs to have a kind of significant death like we got with Nanami and stuff like that. But in regards to the actual flashback, like with Fumi and Shiori, I really enjoyed seeing their little village and the community and the type of friendship they were able to have, and like the complex relationships and the stuff where, like, obviously I think Shiori moving away, seeing how that affected Nobara, and the promise that is continued to kind of be in our heart, not forgotten, even though she's not someone to, for that to be at the forefront. You wouldn't think, it would seem like she's forgotten, but she hasn't, with the big picture of being reunited someday, which was cool. I do hate that it was last minute, because when you see this type of thing, you're like, if we really took our due diligence, we could have made this such impactful and like beautiful moment, whereas it's kind of taking the gloss off of it. Even with the like present day stuff, when we saw like Shiori in her office, like reflecting on the girls and Fumi and Nobara, thinking, oh look, I miss like the empty chair stuff and the friendship stuff. I'm like, bro, like, you're doing this too late. Like, bringing all this in the latter end of this episode. But yeah, man, I would say that it did make me kind of like Nobara more. I don't know. I don't really have any specific reasons, but I think it's mostly because, actually I do. She was so brave in her death, and it felt like, she was content, and I didn't think I expected that from her character. Her last dying breath was one of content, one of like, life wasn't actually that bad, and I think that line in itself is kind of cool to me. But it's sad, and obviously Yuji is going into a fit, which I don't blame him. It's a lot. I'm gonna hand this over, episode 20.
Yes, sir. So, this week, following on from Nobara getting absolutely blammed, I sock it and all. We open up the episode with a flashback, and when I see this moment, it kind of just makes me wish we got a lot more of just seeing the trio hanging out, being kids, and seeing some of the goofy interactions or just what they do on a day-to-day, because we don't really get that. And it's clear that those moments do happen from the flashbacks, but I just wanted to ask, what did you think about the whole interaction? You know, Noir spills coffee onto Gojo's very expensive shirt and tries to cop please. So I'll go to you, Rajel, first. What did you think about that?
It gave me the vibes of the Yuji old girlfriend or friend from middle school or whatever episode. That's what it gave me. Like, it was very wholesome, very funny, comedic, and it brought sides of the characters that, like, you, because of the serious nature of their occupation and as a Jujutsu sorcerer, we just never get the chance to see that. We never get the chance to see like them be childish and goof around and make mistakes that are not like lead to life-threatening situations. And you can just tell they're like, they really enjoy each other's company and they love having fun and stuff like that. And just the trio and including Gojo, you see how kind of perfectly balanced and beautiful that group is. So yeah, I definitely really enjoyed that. And like you said, I wish we had more episodes where that was kind of at the forefront of things we're able to see.
Yep, co-sign that. What about you, Ed? What did you think about that comedic scene?
I mean, it was amazing. I think it's a bit sad as well because, you know, we're never going to get that again. Even if by some kind of miracle Nobara survives. I think every character's just changed. I think Yuji's just basically broken. The other guy just almost did a suicide pact with Maharaga and she lost her eye. So he's just not going to be the same again. But at the same time, it was just so funny. I think what made me laugh the most is like, you know what? How much was it? 250. So if I pay 990k, you might pay 80k each. But she was the one that said it. I was like, what? So matter of fact as well. And it was just jokes and Nobara, man. I think there was just a wonderful character there. If like they were patient enough to explore it. But yeah, and them all together is always a fun time. And even Gojo as well, the reaction. It was so good. It was so sweet. But at the same time, I feel like after the laugh and giggles, I think I just felt sadness a little bit because I know it's gone now. And there's a bit emptiness there. But yeah.
And I think the director this week was very disrespectful because you have a very sharp shift after the laughing. We're all laughing and then boom, you know, just face wide open, you know. I'm just like, wow, this is very graphic. Then no censoring, just like, yeah, it's here. Her eye got blown out, you know. And then they even had the disrespect to show Yuji from the perspective of the blown out eyeball.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, that was crazy still. That was very crazy.
So rude. I was like, are we looking at him from high crushed skull? Yeah, yes, we are. And they should kind of put out any kind of hopes of survival. Because if she survived that, it must be a really good person with good RCT. Intent, nudge. But yeah, it was just graphic. I didn't expect it. I was like, we're looking at Yuji through a skull right now. Wild.
It's just nasty. But you know, Ed, I feel like you've brought up, I wouldn't say the elephant in the room, but a very good point of contention because jumping a bit ahead, we will go back, but Nita's brother says that she finishes treating Nobara, says that she's probably dead, no pulse, isn't breathing, but the chance of survival isn't 0%. So, you know, you have people saying that, okay, so she might survive, she might still be alive. I wanted to get your guys' perspective on whether you think that was just what did the kids call it now, copium? Is that copium from Nita, or do you think she is actually alive?
I think it's a bit of both. I think there's only one person really who can make it happen, which is Shoko. But I don't know. It's a bit of coping as well because we see it happen. Her eye fell out. If you watch like episode 19 again, you can see her eye fly out our face, and we're looking through like her score to look at Yuji. So it seems a bit crazy, but I don't know. There's a possibility, but is it definitely a possibility pushed by the copium? I think.
What about you, Rajal? Do you believe in the Nobara survival, or is she dusted?
I'm a hopeful guy, like naturally hopeful, but I mean that's the you're sipping on that copium, like that's some great tea you're sipping on, and it's not healthy because like that kind of percentile, it's not 0%, but you're also not giving me a percentage. You just say it's not 0, so I just know it's not good.
That's so true.
If you're not giving me a percentage and you're saying it's not 0%, I know it's 0.01%. You know what I mean? I think it's possible, but like when you're in a condition like this, there has to be kind of however you pronounce that word.
Repercussions.
That's the ones. Some words just
whooping your ass.
Whip my ass on a daily basis. It's crazy. But yeah, there has to be, like, she can't come back the same person. Right. And that's even without the injuries and stuff like that. That's just the situation they were in. It's like, especially like Yuji and her and everybody who survives this, they can't be the same person. But after having a hole in your skull like that, you can't actually be the same person if you survive. So it'd be interesting to see if she did survive, what will happen and how that, what that would look like. That kind of intrigues me. But from face value, bro, like, it's not looking good, bruv. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's not looking good, bruv. But I always had a question, especially the way she was treated up until now. Do we think there's a point of her coming back?
Maybe this is a story arc. This is the moment when they get serious about her character. Like, this was actually what they planned the whole time. They're like, now, Nobara, this is your true.
Maybe because she has a good technique, very useful against the character. But even looking further in, without no spoilers, obviously, in the manga, is there a point? Is there a point of bringing her back? What can she possibly do that hasn't been done with her character? Unless, like you say, there's just like a 360, and all of a sudden she's like the third most important character in the series. Apart from that, just there's emotional kind of heartstrings pulling with Yuji, even Toda coming in to back up his brother, and us as the audience. Just let us have it. It's dead. It was painful for the character, for us. Is there a point of bringing her back? I don't want them to bring her back and it's just same old number. Not same old number, but the same kind of utilization.
Yeah.
Then it's just wasted, in my opinion. The death, anyway. Or the fake out death. And there's no more. I hate fake out deaths anyway, but if you're going to bring someone back, please make it amazing. If it's okay, then there's no point of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
I heard that. Yeah. I agree with both of you. Again, we don't want to go into manga spoilers, so I won't say any more on the Nobara points. But I'm on Rajel's side. It's not looking good, bruv. And yeah, even if she does come back, we need to see how the world changes, because obviously, one eye, and that's gotta be a traumatic experience too. But let's get back into the other scenes in the episode. So, after the dusting, you think Yuji, Shonen MC, he gonna fight back, right? He gonna fight back, right, guys? Nope. Mahito starts flexing on the man, man's like, bro, I really am that brother. I'm a curse, bro. Man said, oh yeah. Man said, you know what? Here, have this. Black Fash. And fam, when I read that in the manga, I was like, bro, this guy hates his MC, you know. Because this is a violation, bruv. What did you guys think about Mahito just dunking on Yuji, man? Because it was brutal. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, man, it was a lot. But I think this is like why I really liked Mahito, because he's so like he loves being a villain. You know what I mean? He's not. There's no high mighty thing. There's no I'm doing this for a greater good, or there's a message behind this. I'm trying to achieve something. No, he said this. He said this is war. He said this is war. We're out here fighting. Can't you see the reality? Like, do you know how significant this battle is? This is good and evil. You know what I mean? We're about to change the landscape. You know, me and my boys, we're about to get that ring. Like, he's on absolute crud, and I like that. Because it's also kind of implying that Yuji, like, you're fighting, but you're not even fighting hard enough for this. Like, you're not bringing the type of energy that shows how like vital or critical this moment is, like in the reality of the world and humanity and Tokyo, whatever. Like, you're not bringing the energy. He's basically saying, bro, you're not matching energy. Like I'm here with my black Air Force Ones, and you rode in your primary school plimsolls, like, to play PE. Like, bro, pattern up. And just using Black Flash, that cold visuals, stunning, his like demonic grin, pure joy, elation. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was loving it. I was absolutely loving it.
Yeah. It was wild. Man said, do you count the amount of crushes you kill? No? Same. I don't count the amount of humans I kill. Eventually I'm gonna forget you. Do you know how wild that is? After tormenting him, he said, in time, I will forget I ever did this, bro. I'm not doing this for remembrance. I'm not doing this for fun. I'm just doing it because I want to do it. Man said, the animals, I slaughtered them like animals. That was his Anakin stuff, bro. He is, like I said before, generational when it comes to hate. Not even hate, when it comes to being a villain. He said, I am him. I do it because I want to, not because I even like it. It's just like, I want to. It's war. It's what we do. We kill people. You kill curses, I kill humans. It is what it is. I bet he doesn't even remember Nobara's name. Or Nanami. Just like, dead guy with a tie, dead girl with an eye patch. Or who needs an eye patch now? Which happens. The fact he said, I'm going to forget this eventually, was wild to me. Because it just shows, like, this almost isn't even that important to him. He's just doing it because he wants to do it. There's no, like, I did this to serve the almighty villain at the end of the story. Just no, I'm doing it because I want to do it. That is an amazing antagonist. And it hits. It's not just empty, it hits, and he is, wow. No. And this is kind of the time you expect this is why you expect Sakura to say, no, Yuji, you suffered enough. I'm going to give you a fraction of my power. But no, it just doesn't happen. It just bounces him around so many times. It was Mahito, for what he's done to like some of my favorite characters in the series. I like him because he's just a good villain. And it's just hard to hate the hard work he puts in to be the villain. Can't lie to you.
I agree. He really is a great antagonist. But, we moving on from, Yuji getting absolutely slaughtered, you have great introduction for our Todo. We are the exception. Cold intro, and he kind of picks Yuji back up with a great speech, kind of just reinforcing about, moving forward. You don't have to always know the answer now, but just keep moving forward and you can think about it later. And, that really invigorates Yuji. And then you have Yuji getting back up, hitting the Black Flash, and it goes into an amazing combat sequence. Like, there's so many good moments, but I guess the question I wanted to ask is from that sequence, from Todo coming in to them going into the tag team, and then we get to the end of the episode. What was one key moment that you wanted to highlight? And I'll go to Ed first.
Oh, that's a difficult question. There's so much As much as I like the we at the exception entrance, I think the fact he said, I might be misquoting it, not word for word, but you know what? It says the fact that we're just wasting time, not wasting time, but trying to answer the question of why they died is almost disrespectful. Just focus, and the fact you're alive now means that your comrades are not really dead, you know? They're living through you, so just do what you need to do and move forward. Well, we're sorcerers, bro, and we need to do what we need to do and keep fighting the fight. I think that kind of push on the back and just shows Yuji, it's like, you know what? Instead of like just weeping and crying and feeling bad for myself, let me just actually put an end to Mahito. And that whole speech when it was just like, you know what, brother, let's do this. It was beautiful to me.
I agree. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, likewise. I think mine is not really a specific moment in the fight or the introduction. Mine is mostly a character trait of Todo. The kind of simplistic nature, and not simplistic in like a disrespectful way, but in a way that, you know, simplicity is one of the most like complex things to, you know, attain, and not overreaching, but being kind of confident and very in the moment. And Todo bringing that kind of clarity, understanding to a situation where Yuji was grasping at the complexity of everything. Like he was zoning out beyond the moment and thinking about all the lives that had been taken, that all the pain, all the hate, all the injustice, and everything all at once. And you saw the kind of despair that brought. And you know, someone like Mahito is just reveling in that. He's just enjoying that. And Todo, like I said again, not simple in like a disrespectful way, but simple in like a very present and courageous way, having been very balanced and having a good understanding of grasp of just situationally what I need now and how to be present. And him just understanding, do you know what, having an answer is not the battle we fight. Having an answer is not why we walk, is not why we push forward. Maybe we never have an answer, do you know what I mean? But the purpose is the next step. The purpose is how we move, the vision of how we, you know, just carry on. And that's how we respect the memories of the past. That's how we heal. That's how we protect others. That's how we learn. That's how we live. And that was just very inspiration. You can see how man got his brother back on his feet. Man got his brother back in the zone. He's like, I hear you. And sometimes you kind of just need that in desperation. You need simple words. And I really appreciate that.
Great moments. I have to say, I like those. Okay, so I think the last thing I wanted to highlight before I kind of let you guys say any other moments that kind of stood out to you is even though I don't like him, I felt like it was important to talk about the Mekamaru and Miwa scene and how he didn't want to get his classmates involved in this whole incident because he didn't think they would survive and he didn't rate them. I thought even though I don't like Mekamaru, I mean he didn't. He basically said only Todo and Nita can come too because Todo's with him. But yeah, I mean let's be serious. Camo, he's doing nothing. That guy's weak. Who's next? She can only fire like one bullet, so and then she's done. And then the broom girl, come on, bruv, like what's she gonna do? Irrelevant.
Yeah, on the broom.
In their heart, they knew. In their heart, they knew. They were happy.
Exactly.
That he did.
He didn't make the wrong decision. They're weak.
He was right.
And he shouldn't even glossed it over. He shouldn't have made the sound. He shouldn't even. You just said it straight. Firstly, he's dead, so you could have just said there's no you know the word. Like I would have just said it, but it's what it is, man.
Yeah. Man said Todo carries. And yeah, moving along, it was wild. But I don't know, it's hard to feel Mekamaru sometimes because he's stupid. But I think I did feel bad. I did feel bad for Miwa, to be fair, but yeah. Like, do you think I'm weak? Yes. What are you gonna do with a simple domain? What are you gonna do with a simple domain? But I think it was sweet. I think they needed that kind of, like, closure. So yeah, I respect it, but it was definitely not the highlight of the episode. But I appreciate that we saw it.
Yeah, man. We missed out on a budding romance, it seems. That we could have got. JJK. Maybe you could have sprinkled a little bit, romance in the bleakness and the suffering and the death and the pain that you love to not spoon feed us, but drown us in every week. But Mekamaru, I think it was a cool moment with Miwa and the rest of them just having that kind of conversation and having that kind of transparency, closure as well, and just wrapping up his involvement in his hand in everything. That's wrapping it up. Yeah, man, I think it was cool. Sad, like, just seeing somebody know that somebody's gone, they've lost, and also the fact that they are also not strong enough to be of use and help out in a battle, because I think that's like the worst feeling you could have, that I'm not even strong enough to be present and fight alongside my comrades, and even die with my comrades, and I would be a nuisance. I would be something that hampered them. I think that will be also something that will play in your mind. So I hope they don't take it too harshly. I hope that it drives them to work harder and become better Jujutsu sorcerers, because the way it's looking, they will be needed at some point. I'm not gonna lie to you. not because they're good, but because there's not enough bodies.
Yeah, that's probably the most likely reason. But I guess last moment from me, I just wanted to highlight the All Might's Todo scene, because that was, they just went crazy for no reason, and then that was literally All Might inspired. No one can tell me otherwise.
Even the OST,
it was cold.
I was like, I'm smoking here. The OST, is that the same OST? But yeah, it was beautiful.
They must have taken inspiration, and they even had like all the different factors motivating Todo. You got Yuji in there, the idol, cheeks, just a whole bunch of things. So, like, and he landed the black fresh and it was clean. So shout out to him. And yeah, any final moments for you guys?
I'm glad Todo's here. I think this arc has been beautiful. I got Nanami, I got Choso, I got Todo. Those are my top 3 characters, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. And right at the end, all of them operating on 120%. I just know next week is going to be a feast, bruv, and I'm ready for it. I am absolutely ready for it. But yeah, great episode. Great few episodes actually. 18, 19, 20 was a joy to watch.
Yeah, man, thoroughly enjoyed all 3 episodes. I think it's funny how it worked out, because talking about them all back to back is somewhat better experience wise, like just to talk about, just because of how interrelated they are. It could be just one whole episode really, and how it concluded that fight and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next coming weeks. Hopefully we get more joy, and hopefully we also see a more mojito. So let's go.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. And one last comment from me. What did Gojo said? I believe in them. So Megami packed, Nobara packed, Yuji packed, but he got the battery put back in his back by Todo. So I don't know who he was believing in, but I mean, I'm just not gonna talk too much. Yeah. So like,
Todo,
2 out of 3. Hey man, I believe in 3 15-year-olds to save the world.
That's crazy.
I hate shonen sometimes,
That's crazy.
That's the one when you put it that way. It's actually crazy. One of them has been a Jujutsu sorcerer for 1 year, less than 1 year as well.
Like a normal reaction should have been him just crying, saying, "Wow, we're done. We're finished.
We're done. It's over.
This is not looking
It's
good."
over, bro. The world is finished. If I'm gone, sayonara. Just no. I want Nobara and Megumi to just put me in my grave so they can let me down one more time.
What I'm saying is, if he ever gets released, it's good. The world's gonna look so different. There's gonna be different people about. He's gonna be so confused. Like, rah. He's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to actually go to counseling because there's a lot. There's gonna be a lot. And I don't want to be the person explaining it to him.
Oh,
No.
Yeah. Therapy, definitely. After losing his best friend, he's going to lose his next best friend, his students, yeah. Gojo, I'm so sorry, bud, but you shouldn't have believed in anyone else except for yourself.
Legit.
Facts. Okay. I think that's everything. Time to evaporate.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Like Nobara's eye.
That was so unnecessary.
Okay, I think it's time to leave. It's time to leave.
That was crazy.
I'm so sorry, Nobara. I love you as well, but I just had to one time.
Yeah, man. Guys, appreciate you guys listening to the AKWatch. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, should be. But yeah, man, catching up. The big catch up. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Great 3 episodes. And like always, we'll catch you whenever we catch you. Peace.
Peace and blessings.
Deuces.
You